Hey guys, 7W Rocks here, and thank you for joining me on Saturday night's Kickout number 9. I believe it's 9 because I honestly did not check, but I think last week I messed it up and it was 8, but I said it was 7, so this week it would be 9, of course. But thanks for stopping by me, talking about a lot of wrestling. I'm going to be reviewing NXT Takeover. I'm going to be talking about the preview of No Surrender. So I'm actually going to go a little quick on Raw because I want to review NXT and I don't want to go way long. Like last time, I think the longest I've gone is 30 minutes, and I don't want to do a video that long because I don't think I haven't really gotten feedback that says it's been long and boring, but I get the feeling a lot of people maybe don't watch the entire thing, and that's okay. You're fine to watch whatever you want to, but basically, next week will be week 10, of course, my Saturday Night's Kickout episode 10, so I might do something special for it. I don't really know what to do, so if you have an idea for me to do something special, maybe talk about the best moments, or maybe do, not a Q&A, but talk about a certain topic that you want me to discuss, let me know. But yeah, so next week, it should be a good one. 10 episodes in and I'm not even close to stopping, so that's always great. But moving on, we had Raw, which really needed to be a good Raw. The past two Raws have been right before this one. The past two Raws before that were really bad. So I thought this one has to be good, and they called it the season premiere, and it was good. It started off with a steel cage match with Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho. A very, very good steel cage match. Great way to start off a show. It's a wrestling show. You should always start off with wrestling. You know, I get the occasional promos, but this one needed to start out with wrestling, and it did. Jericho did a sick dive off the top of the cage, which is always awesome to see, and it wasn't on pay-per-view, so that's always cool to see. But Bray Wyatt ended up getting the win, which is something he really needed. Then Randy Orton attacked him backstage, and they set up a match that I'll discuss later. So after that, it's either going to be John Cena next week. It's either going to be John Cena versus Paul Heyman or John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Now, John Cena said that he wants to he wants to fight Brock Lesnar now. He needs to do it. And if Brock isn't at Raw next week, then he's fighting Paul Heyman. So he's either going to fight one of them. So that made it show that Brock Lesnar will appear on Raw next week, which is always good. It's it's good to see him the week before pay-per-view, the go-home edition of the show, and it'll be cool to see Brock Lesnar. I don't know if I'm trying to think. Do I see John Cena and Brock Lesnar fighting on the go-home show? I really don't. Not a match, of course, but like a brawl. I don't see that happening, but we'll see what happens. But maybe it's probably going to be like Heyman comes out and, Cena's like, all right, I'm going to fight you. And then right when he's about to really punch Paul Heyman, Brock comes out. And I think it'll be something along those lines. Moving on, we had Adrian Neville and, let's go back, rewind. Basically, Cena, I've been reading that Cena, the, writers and backstage, and Vince McMahon, most importantly, has been wanting Cena to be booked very well. Now, I've been reading that they want him to be booked to be an unstoppable monster. Nothing can stop him. And I have two problems with this. One, Cena's always been getting pushed like this, so I don't get why they're like, okay, this is how we need to book him. We need to have him be booked to win matches. He's always done that. I think it makes me think, like, are the writers serious? Like, are they really thinking they have to be like, okay, we need to push John Cena? They're always pushing John Cena. So that's one of my problems. And the other one is basically if Cena does lose, there's the big fact that he's going to lose and Brock's going to hold it till WrestleMania. There's also some rumors Brock will drop it. But I just don't think if Brock wins, I just think these past 3-4 weeks have been excuse me, I shook the table. I'm just thinking these past 3 to 4 weeks have been just total nonsense and just stupid to do, because if you're building up John Cena to be this big unstoppable force and he loses again to Brock, it's like, well, why did we just do that for the past 4 weeks? So I don't like how he's getting pushed like this. I know Cena will always be pushed big, but just to have the fact to say that he's an unstoppable monster, we need to book him like that, that's just stupid. But moving on, we had Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn versus Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd on Raw. This was awesome to see. It was awesome to see all these 3 new stars debut on Raw. I'm not going to call this their debut because I read that they're being booked for next week's Raw and next week's SmackDown. So I'm not going to call this their debut because they're not on the roster, for from here on out. But it was good to see these new talent, and so that was also, not new talent, but it was good to see these guys finally on Raw where they deserve to be. But yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it, and it helped out Takeover. So it helped promote Takeover. Moving on, we have Jericho and Orton. That was Jericho versus Randy Orton was announced for Night of Champions, and also Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins was announced for Night of Champions. So that'll be really good. Now, I could talk about, Seth Rollins, Kane, and Randy Orton. They beat up Reigns to end off the show. Seth Rollins did a crazy jump off the cage, and they beat him up. They're setting up Rollins versus Reigns, which was announced. So that was the main event. I'm gonna rush through it because I want to talk about NXT. But moving on to NXT Takeover, this was good pay-per-view. Pay-per-view. It was very exciting, very fun. Some matches I didn't get, but I'm going to talk about why I didn't like certain things. So moving on, we had to start off the show, the Ascension versus Kalisto and Sin Cara. Now, this was a very good match to start off the show. It was very fast, 7 minutes I think it went, and it should have gone longer with Baron Corbin versus C.J. Parker and Mojo Rawley versus Bull Dempsey going so short. I don't get why this match didn't get a longer time. But it was a good match. The Ascension was dethroned. Kalisto and Sin Cara are the new tag team champions. They're called the Lucha Dragons, I believe, and it was cool to see that. It's I kind of thought the Ascension's gonna lose. They're ready to go to the main roster, and they are. I think they're gonna go up versus the Usos. Perhaps win the tag team championships their first month or 2 months into the company, into being on the main roster. So we'll see where that goes. This match could have been longer, but it was a good one, and I'm glad Sin Cara has a title now. I think he's being used perfectly in NXT as being a tag team fighter. I think he's been perfect with Kalisto. So good match. Then we had Baron Corbin versus C.J. Parker. Corbin did not get any entrance. He did not get, any music, nothing. C.J. Parker got the entrance, so I was like, C.J.'s going to squash him. No. Baron Corbin just destroyed C.J. Parker. The WWE, they always want to do those reverse toe hold inverted, drops, like what Bray Wyatt does, like the Sister Abigail, the mic check from Anderson's finisher. They seem to be really, they like those moves. I don't know why, but Baron did a variation of that and a variation of the Sister Abigail, and like Bray puts them on their knee, on his knee, does like the head kiss thing, whatever, and then hits the move. Corbin didn't even do that. He just held up C.J. Parker, all his weight, just holding him, and then flipped back into it. It was really cool. Really sick finisher, and if you haven't seen, I definitely check it out. It's on the WWE's home YouTube page. They have that match listed. So, yeah, definitely watch that. It was pretty cool. Moving on, we had Enzo Amore versus Sylvester Lefort in a hair versus hair match. Basically, Enzo got the win, and it was a decent match. I'm not going to say it was horrible, but I'm not going to say it was, amazing. Enzo got the win, and then Marcus ended up getting, Sylvester's buddy, Marcus, he ended up getting his head poured in that hair cream stuff. And so he ran off, and then they later on during the show, they took off his towel that was, that was covering his bald head, and then and he had like little patches of hair and stuff, and he looked like a hideous monster and left. That was it. But yeah, it could have been a better match, but it was decent, definitely. I think Enzo is really good on the mic. I think he's very over with the crowd, so I think that's definitely, doesn't have the best wrestling skills, but I feel like he's like a Road Dogg. When Road Dogg gets the crowd pumped with his speech at the beginning of the match, I feel like Enzo does that every time. So I see little similarities between them. But moving on, we had Mojo Rawley versus Bull Dempsey in a squash match. Bull hit a diving headbutt on Mojo, got the win. I didn't see the point of this match going so short. If this match went so short, I think the tag match should have gone longer, but I don't know. I think the match could have gone longer. It seems like Mojo Rawley, I talked about this before, it seems like every time Mojo Rawley is in a match, it's either a squash match, either he's squashing somebody or he's getting squashed. When he versed Tyler Breeze hit a snapshot on him, got the win in like seconds. When he versed Bull Dempsey, got the win in seconds. When Mojo wins, he wins in seconds. So, I don't know, it just seems like he can't do a long match, and his moveset is very limited. But, I don't know, we'll see down the road. He gets the crowd hyped, so that's the point of his character. Moving on, we have Kenta. He was introduced by William Regal. It was supposed to be Ric Flair, but he had some personal issues or health issues or something like that. But Kenta was introduced, and they did change his name. I get why they changed his name. They won't copyright, all this like stuff backstage. blah blah blah. They want his name, they want rights to it, and so it's something like, you know, Sin Cara. They wanted rights to Sin Cara's name. They changed his name was like Mystico or something like that. They changed it to Sin Cara. So now when he, you know, didn't work out, he left the company. They still got to use the character, and you know, now look at it. Sin Cara's tag team champion. So I do see the point of it, and it could work out. Like, let's say they changed Kevin Steen's name and the WWE thing doesn't work out. Oh, please, God, I hope the WWE thing for Kevin Steen works out. But let's just say it doesn't. If they change Kevin Steen's name, he can go back to Ring of Honor as Kevin Steen. He can go back to PWG as Kevin Steen. So you guys got to remember that stuff. It might help the situation. I know a lot of people are pissed that he changed his name to Kenta, and I get why. You know, he's been 10 years as Kenta. Why change it now? But just I don't know. His name was Hideo Itami, I believe. He changed it to Hideo Itami. I think that sounds right. But basically, he came out. He talked a lot in Japanese. Now, the only thing that's going to be holding this guy back is he does not speak English very well. It seems he can broken, choppy sentences. You know, speaking English. But it seems like, you know, give this guy a manager or a translator or something, because hopefully he's able to just wrestle, but he needs some mic skills. Maybe he'll be a Paul Heyman guy. But yeah, it just seems like his lack of speaking English is really gonna hurt him. I think of it, but wrestling wise, no, he's freaking phenomenal. So the Ascension came out, they interrupted him, and they basically kicked him in the gut, threw him out of the ring, and said to William Regal, "We want a tag team championship now." And Kenta, after getting kicked in the stomach, thrown outside, stood back up in the ring, and they were like, Connor, he stopped his sentence and was like in shock that Kenta got up. And it was pretty boss. Like, I seriously thought that was really sweet. So it got the crowd pumped, and Kenta beat the crap out of both of them and, you know, threw him out of the ring, got a chair, sat in it, and it was just like, come on, let's go. And they fled the scene. They were out of there. So Kenta will be in action. Hideo Itami will be in action next week. And I'm excited for it, and I think everything, his wrestling gear-wise, he looks the exact same. So good thing they didn't give him a stupid gimmick or something. They're going to let him be who he was, Kenta. And I'm very excited for him, and he was like a dang good wrestler. So we'll see what happens. Next, we had Charlotte versus Bayley for the Women's Divas Champion. Women's Divas? Did I say that? Women's/Divas NXT Championship. A very good match. I enjoyed it. A lot of people said they hated it, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good Divas match. And was it Paige versus Emma good? No, but it was very good. It showed Charlotte being the monster she is against Bayley being the underdog. Charlotte did get the win with her bow down to the queen, like RKO type move. But the only problem I had was Charlotte botched a moonsault. And she basically did a moonsault, and I don't know if she wasn't supposed to hit Bayley. Maybe Bayley was supposed to move out of the way, or she was supposed to hit it, and she just over-rotated the backflip. But she did the backflip and literally landed on her feet right by Bayley, and then just kind of splashed on her. So that was the only problem I had, and I know a lot of people are mad about that. But, you know, it happens in a wrestling match. So Charlotte got the win, and she appeared to be turning face after Sasha Banks came out and started slapping Bayley, and Charlotte came back in the ring and threw Sasha off her. And I believe, don't get me wrong, or not don't get me wrong, but don't hold me to this, but I believe Charlotte and Bayley were a tag team when they first came into NXT. Could be wrong. But Charlotte looks like she's turning face, and it looks like Sasha Banks maybe will go on to be the heel diva from here on out, because I know Charlotte's the main one. But now Sasha looks like she's going to be taking that role. So moving on, we had Tyler Breeze versus Tyson Kidd versus Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville in the main event. At first, this match wasn't that good. First 5 to 7 minutes, I was kind of bored. But then it really picked up and was awesome. I made a video about it yesterday, so you can get basically my initial thoughts and reaction on the finish where Adrian Neville pulled out the ref before Sami Zayn looked to get the win. When Sami Zayn went crazy and started beating up everybody, that was awesome. When he jumped through the ring post and caught a DDT on Tyler Breeze, that was awesome. I love when he does that move. But we saw Adrian Neville pull out the ref, so that stopped the count. Sami Zayn was pissed, came out of the ring after him. Adrian Neville hit a super kick, red arrow on Tyson Kidd, and got the win. So Adrian Neville retains. I did predict that, but I'm excited for an Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn feud. That match should be freaking awesome. Now, hopefully Kevin Steen gets added to the mix. Maybe when their match finally happens at some big events, hyped up so crazy, they're back and forth, beating each other up. Maybe Kevin Steen interrupts the match, package pile drives them both. We'll see where that goes. Very good event. I really enjoyed NXT Takeover. Definitely really good. I'll probably give it like a B minus, B plus. But such a good event, good main event. Really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for these guys to come up with the main roster. I can't wait for Kenta, Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, Adrian Neville. The future is very bright with NXT. I think Triple H is doing a fantastic job. Moving on, we're just going to switch over to TNA Impact. I'm going to go through it a little fast. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. Thank you for watching this. I really do appreciate it. 187 subscribers. That's awesome. We're very close to 200 subscribers, and I hope to do something very big, but I just honestly don't know what I do when I hit 200 subscribers. So let me know if you have any ideas, and yeah, I'll be sure to give you a shout out or something if I like your idea. And yeah, moving on, we went to TNA Impact. Switch over. Chris Melendez, he did debut. He is the Army veteran that lost his leg in the war. He got blown up by an IED, I believe. But he has a prosthetic leg, and he is freaking up. He's a boss. Like, honestly, American hero, and just the fact that he can wrestle is freaking amazing. But he versus Sema Ion in a good match. It was a good opener. He's easily gonna get the crowd pumped no matter what. He could be, I don't even, like, they wouldn't make him heel, but he can do anything, and the crowd will be freaking pumped for him because he's an American hero and he deserves it. So the only problem I do have is that it just seems like with the prosthetic leg, I don't want to say that he's limited to doing stuff, but it seems like it'd be hard for him to have like a really long back and forth match. Like he sells injuries, he's good at that. He's quick on his feet and stuff, but it just, I don't know. Is there something that seems like, can this guy go like a 20-minute match and just do all this crazy stuff and like kind of make you forget he has one leg, if that makes sense, that he can just jump back and like start fighting and it like just goes crazy. I don't know. It seemed like it was a little limited that what he could do. But that was just my first thought, and no disrespect to him whatsoever. He's an American hero, and I am so thankful for what he has done for our country. And no disrespect to him. I'm just kind of worried how his matches will go from here on out. But good debut, got the win, and I forget what he hit. He hit some like, I don't know, I want to say like a power slam or something, but he hit some move, got the win, and it was awesome. The crowd loved it, so that's all that matters. And he's American hero, and I thank him for his service. Moving on, we had James Storm kidnapped Manic. He kidnapped him 2 weeks ago, and then he had him locked up for a segment where he was like slapping him and telling the camera guy to run away and blah blah blah. But I'm excited. This is gonna be cool. See James Storm leading an X Division group with Sonata and Manic. Hopefully Manic either does something with his attire, like the suit changes, or they unmask him and make him TJ Perkins with like crazy face paint. Because personally, I like TJ Perkins. He could be Manic and I'd be fine with him. He could be TJ Perkins, I'd be totally fine with it. So, yeah, definitely it's going to be cool to see where that goes. I think people already know because it's already been spoiled by TNA's taping schedules and stuff. But I'm excited to see where it goes. So. And then after that, we had EC3. He defeated Rhino in a street fight. That was a good match, and I see EC3 carrying on this streak for a long time. Maybe when Kurt Angle finally is able to wrestle, maybe for his like final match, he'll beat EC3 and then leave. Like I do have a feeling Kurt Angle will leave to go to WWE, maybe to be inducted in the Hall of Fame and finally retire. Maybe have one last small run in the WWE. We'll see where it goes, but. EC3 gets the win. I think it was funny. TNA, they tweeted, when Rhino came out, they tweeted gore, 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 like, but they spelled it really weird. They spelled it G-O-A-R, and people were like, don't you mean G-O-R-E? That's not how you spell gore. I don't know. They're changing the name. Gore is. They're changing Rhino, because at one point they named it, like, Rhino, R-H-I-N-O, and now they're doing R-H-Y-N-O and all that stuff. They changed a lot of it, so... I just thought it was funny to see. EC3 got the win in the street fight, and that was cool. Next, we had the main event, the tables match for not the TNA Tag Team Championships, but it was to see if Team 3D, which they picked the stipulation, they picked the tables match, of course. If they won, they would be the new Tag Team Champions but they did not get the win. The Hardy Boys did get the win, so my predictions have been right. It wasn't that. I'm not going to say, oh, I got my predictions right, I'm awesome. No, it was kind of easy to tell, but that this was going to happen. So basically, the Hardy Boys got the win. Jeff Hardy hit a swanton onto a table, which I think Eddie Edwards was set up on, and smashed through the table, got the win. So next week, they picked their stipulation. It will be a ladder match, and I see the Wolves winning that, so it's 1-1-1. And I see the Wolves winning and then making the stipulation a Full Metal Mayhem match, which is basically TNA's version of a TLC match. Excuse me. That was cool to see. That was awesome. Good main event. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, definitely it was good. And No Surrender is next week. It's basically people have been saying, a lot of fans that know TNA better than I do. They're basically saying it's the Great American Bash for TNA. And it looks very fun. It looks like a good event. We have Bobby Roode versus Bobby Lashley. That'll be good to see. I really wish they had saved this to Bound for Glory, to be honest. And I haven't read any spoilers at all, but it doesn't seem like Roode's gonna win. TNA aired a commercial about the Bound for Glory, and it had Bobby Lashley in it, and it was like who can stop this monster. And it was like a Bound for Glory commercial, but it was all about Bobby Lashley and who can stop him. So I'm thinking he's not going to lose the belt until Bound for Glory, like my opinion. That's what I think, but we'll see where it goes. It's going to be a great main event nonetheless. Homicide will versus Samoa Joe for the X Division Championship. That match will be great. That's what I wanted to see, Homicide versus Samoa Joe. When Low-Ki won the match and got to be Low-Ki versus Joe, I wanted to see Homicide, so I'm glad I'm finally getting to see that. Then we have the ladder match for the TNA Tag Team Championships. If the Hardys or Team 3 gets the win, they will win the Tag Team Championships. But if the Wolves get the win, they get to pick the stipulation for next time. So that'll be great. Ladder match is always good. You add those three teams together, that's going to be freaking sick. Moving on to Ring of Honor news. Last week, I did my episode. I did Saturday Night's Kickout right before All-Star Extravaganza 6, I believe, for Ring of Honor. It's their pay-per-view. It had the Young Bucks versus Red Dragon for the Tag Team Championships. It had Jay Lethal versus, dang it, ACH, I think? Jay Lethal versus ACH, I want to say. No, I think it was Cedric Alexander. I don't know, it was one of them. And then the main event most importantly was, not the main event, it wasn't even the main event, dang it. It was the World Heavyweight Championship, because the Bucks and Red Dragon was the main event. But it was Jay Briscoe, who has not been pinned in a Ring of Honor ring in 2 long years. He versed Michael Elgin, the current Ring of Honor champion. He versed him, and Jay Briscoe got the win. He had Jay Driller, which is where he lifts him up and pile drives him. He did that through a table, and then he did that in the middle of the ring and got the win. Crazy to see Michael Elgin already lose the Ring of Honor championship. That was a very quick reign. Cool to see Jay Briscoe have the belt, though. Jay Briscoe is an awesome wrestler, and it's great to see this. Maybe we'll see Mark Briscoe fight for it. Maybe we'll see AJ Styles fight for it. And AJ Styles got beat Adam Cole, and then he did a video where he posted it on the Ring of Honor webpage that he said he's got a thorn in his side, and he wants that Ring of Honor championship. So that's awesome. I love it. And yeah, Jay Briscoe is your new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Exciting news. Moving on, match of the week. This is a tough one. I got there was Bobby Roode, Eric Young, and Samoa Joe versus MVP, Kenny King, and Bobby Lashley. That was a good match. The tables match for TNA was good. NXT Takeover, that match was the main event. The steel cage match was good. Dang, this was hard. I'm gonna go with the main event for NXT Takeover. I'm gonna go with Zayn, Neville, Breeze, and Kid. The first few minutes, I will say, were boring, but I'm not gonna let that affect. It went 24 minutes, so just to say the first few minutes were kind of boring isn't really saying much. The last of it was great. I fell for it. I thought Sami Zayn was gonna get the win. Adrian Neville got the win. It was great. There was all sorts of matches, so it's really hard for me to pick, but that was just off the top of my head. I got to go with the main event for NXT TakeOver. So, final segment, the kick-out segment to end off the show. Basically, the kick-out segment is about, all this negativity in wrestling. Everybody's saying, oh, this week Raw sucked, TNA sucked, blah, blah, blah. I like to talk about the positives of this week, why this was such a great week. Now, Saturday we had Ring of Honor All-Star Extravaganza. For the people that got that, they said they freaking loved it. I did not get it personally, but people said that they ordered the pay-per-view. They said it was freaking awesome. So yeah, that to look forward to. Steel cage match on Raw. That's always exciting to see. Tables match for with three teams, three of the best teams in the world. They were there. NXT Takeover's on. That was great. The main event was awesome. You have No Surrender to look forward to. It was just it was a good week of wrestling. I really did enjoy it. Had a great time. Hopefully you guys did. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 7WRocks. Had a lot of fun. Also, let me know if you have an idea for me to do something special for episode 10, which will air next week, of course, on Saturday. Let me know. I'll give you a shout out. I don't know what that will do, but we're so close to 200 subscribers. Let's try to get there, and I hopefully will do something big for it. If you guys give me some ideas, I'll be sure to let everybody know who gave me the idea. And yeah, big things happening. We are almost at 200 subscribers. The 10th episode of Saturday Night's Kickout will air next week. It was a great wrestling week. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. As always, have a nice day. Thanks, guys.